Hello, guys, welcome to another episode. Which receive a quick question: what does a woman bring to the table in marriage? What should a woman bring to the table in marriage? Let's be real, okay? Let's not play games. What should a woman really bring to the table in marriage? The thing is that when you ask some women what they bring to the table in marriage, they'll be like, I'm the table. Because some of them don't even know what they should bring to the table in marriage. And some men that keep asking the women what they bring to the table in marriage, they don't even have table. Can you imagine? So, society, how it can be. People keep asking the women what they bring to the table in marriage. So in today's episode, I'm going to be giving you guys realistic things that a woman should bring to the table in marriage. It's not about perfection. It's not about fantasy. We're talking about realistic things, the real value of a woman in marriage. So let's quickly dive in what we have for today's episode immediately. But before that, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Also like and comment on my videos as well. Thank you so much for that. To all those that have been liking, commenting, subscribing, sharing my videos, God bless you all. I really want to use this opportunity to appreciate you guys so much. Thank you so much for that. So what should a woman bring to the table? Number one is peace. Yes, basic peace. Every woman should know how to bring peace to her home, to her marriage. Because no man wants to come back home to a war zone. Yes, peace is not silence. Peace is emotional maturity, emotional stability. It is knowing how to let things go. It is knowing how to keep your home. That is peace. There are so many men out there that dread going back home every day. Why? Because their wives have made the home to be like a war zone. They nag too much, turn every conversation into a debate, making the marriage so heated up, no emotional stability, no emotional maturity, nothing. Anytime the man is back home, he can never have peace. My dear, that is not marriage. In fact, that is a prison in disguise. So, as a woman, you have to bring basic peace to your home. Loyalty, even when it's not convenient, is another very important thing a woman should bring to the table in marriage. Yes. Loyalty is not just about saying, I did not cheat. It's not just about avoiding infidelity. But it's also about protecting your spouse, their name, their status, protecting your marriage, protecting the whole struggle and process, protecting everything about your marriage, even when it's not convenient for you. By that, I mean, maybe, for example, you are not in very good terms with your partner. Maybe you guys have had a fight, had a misunderstanding, In that time, that period when it's not convenient for you to, protect your spouse's name, stand up for your spouse, can you do it? If you really can, then that is true loyalty. Even in your partner's absence, can you still protect your partner's name? If you can't, then that is loyalty. Can you still stand by your partner even when things are bad? If you can't, that is loyalty. For example, maybe your husband lost his job and things got a little bit rough for you guys, in that time when maybe, for example, maybe a friend or a family member might be trying to bash your husband in any way, if you can stand for him, back him up in that period of, things not being really good for you guys, that is loyalty. So loyalty is not just about faithfulness. That is loyalty as well. It also involves protecting your spouse. What does a woman bring to the table? Common sense. Being book smart is cool, is really nice, is good. But a woman that lacks common sense, that lacks problem solving skills, that lacks situational awareness, that is a liability. As a woman, you should not be a liability. In fact, you see this question, what does a woman bring to the table? When a man asks you such a question, he's just trying to find out whether you're a liability or an asset. So if you don't have anything you bring to the table, it simply means you're a liability. If you do, then you're an asset. You understand? So it's just an indirect way of asking a woman whether she's a liability or an asset. That is why men always ask what a woman brings to the table. So when you ask such a question, you should know what you should bring to the table. That is why today's video is very important, especially to the ladies. Emotional control is another very important thing a woman should bring to the table in marriage. Nobody is perfect, yes, but at least as a woman, you should be able to control your emotions. You see all this silent treatment, all this manipulative behavior, all this attitude that women always put up with in marriage. My dear, it kills marriage. You might not be noticing it, but it kills marriage gradually. So you should learn to control your emotions before you say I do. It is very important. For example, a woman that always threatens her husband with divorce at every slightest misunderstanding or disagreement that they have is killing her marriage even without realizing it. She might think she's just using it to scare the husband or anything, but my dear, that divorce you keep threatening your husband with started the first day you threatened that man with a divorce. So if you don't want to kill your marriage, you should not be doing things that will kill it slowly. Because when the chips are down, you'll be wondering where the problem came from. Whereas you have been the one causing that problem all this while. So it's very important that you know how to control your emotions in marriage. What does the woman bring to the table? Constant hygiene and appearance. This point is very important because as a woman, if you're not clean, how will you take care of your children? If you're not clean, how will you take care of your husband? So cleanliness, constant hygiene and appearance is very, very important. That is one of the major things a woman brings to the table. As a woman, you have to learn how to be clean, neat. It's not about being Instagram perfect. No, it's about being clean, being presentable, being self-caring. That you're married doesn't mean you should let yourself go. No. If you know those things that you used to do to keep yourself look good, beautiful, attractive, keep doing it. In fact, you should even do it more now that you're married. Because when you were single, you were just doing it to attract a man to yourself. You understand? But now that you're married, you now have one man to yourself. You should keep doing it for him. Do it for yourself. Do it for your husband. You see a lot of women in the society complaining that just a few years into their marriage, the attraction their partner had for them was no longer there. That is really bad. That is really bad. You see so many married women, once they get married, just a few years into their marriage, they start looking shabby. They no longer care about their looks. They no longer take care of themselves like they used to when they were single, and they were still looking for husband, looking also classy and all those things. You don't know if it's those things that you used to do when you were single that even attracted your husband in the first place. So that is why I say that it is even the more reason, now that you're married, is the more reason why you should even be more classy. So your appearance, your being neat is very, very important as a woman. That is part of the things a woman brings to the table in marriage. What should a woman bring to the table? Basic cooking skills. This is actually very, very important. You don't need to be a chef as a woman. Just know basic cooking skills. It is very important. No matter how busy you are, no matter how rich you are, even if you have a staff, even if you have a chef, take out time sometimes to just cook for your partner, for your husband, for your children. Take out time to do it. Even if you cannot do it every day, but let there be, just try to do it as often as possible. You understand? It's very, very important. What of, the days when your staff will not be available? Are you trying to say it will be takeout all the way, eating takeout in your home all the way? No, it's not proper at all. So learn basic cooking skills. There are so many women in our society these days that have this mindset that it is either they get a chef or their family, their spouse keep eating takeout. My dear, that is really expensive. Even if you have the money, your father is rich, your husband is rich, it is also unhealthy to keep eating takeout every day. No, it's not right. Learn basic cooking skills. Having the ability to apologize as a woman is very, very important. See, pride kills marriage. So as a woman, if you cannot say, I am sorry, if you don't know how to apologize when you're wrong, even when you're not wrong, Sometimes you have to apologize just for the sake of peace. But especially when you're wrong, you should know how to apologize. A woman that doesn't know how to apologize will definitely create a toxic emotional cycle in her marriage, and that is really bad. There are so many women in our society so many wives in our society that instead of them to apologize to their partner, to their husband, they would rather buy a gift. Especially when they know they are wrong. Because they find it so hard to apologize, they would rather buy a gift. My dear, the gift is a good idea, it's a nice gesture, but my dear, that is not an apology. It's not a complete apology. Open your mouth and still apologize. If you want to add the gifts, then fine and good, but know how to apologize as a woman, because you definitely need it in marriage. As a woman, having financial literacy is very important. Whether you're single, about to get married, you're in a really serious relationship, or you're already married, financial literacy is very, very important. It's not just about knowing how to spend money, but also knowing how to save money, how to budget, how to make smart money decisions. It is very, very important. There are so many women that don't even have savings. They are working, they earn money, but they don't have any savings. That is really bad. No matter how little, learn how to save. It will save you. That money that you saved will save you in the long run. Respect for his privacy is another thing that is very important. Every man needs a bit of mental space. So as a woman, you should know how to respect your man's privacy. It is one of the things that a woman brings to the table in marriage. So yes, it is very important. Your ability to listen as a woman is very important. A woman that can listen without interrupting, without correcting, without judging is indeed a rare gem. As a woman, you should have that ability. Because, for example, if that man wants to open up to you about something very, very important, if you don't have the ability to listen without judging or correcting, without blowing things out of proportion, you can make that man not to be able to open up to you about very important things. So if you have that ability, you can easily make that man open up to you, and you guys can tackle that issue together. If not, you will make that your inability to listen will make that man to be keeping things away from you. So yes, your ability to listen, to give your husband a listening ear, is a very important attribute that a woman brings to the table in marriage. What does a woman bring to the table? Privacy. Yes, not everything that happens in your home that you should go out and tell people. In fact, whatever that happens in your home should stay in your home. Not everything you have to tell your friends and family. No. Not everything you have to go out and tell people about. No, it's not necessary. Not everything that happens in your home that will make you to go and write things on your status. No. In fact, there are some things that when you write on your status, your husband will feel disrespected. It will be an insult to that man, even without you realizing it. There are some statements you don't make as a married woman. There are some things that when you say or when you post on your status, people will be like, what's happening in your home? What is the problem? There are some things that are more like an insult to your own marriage, but you don't see it like that. But other people are saying you. There are so many women that behave like that. You see them writing so many things on their status, and you'll be wondering, is this person really married? Like, what's going on in her marriage? You understand? So privacy, ability to maintain your marital privacy is very important as a woman. Respect for the man himself and not just his money, not just his pockets, is another thing a woman brings to the table. Very important. You should know how to respect the man. Respect that man you call the husband. Because every man wants to be respected, wants to be valued. You understand? So when a man feels used in his own home, he can make him check out emotionally. For example, there are women that when their husband is not able to meet up to the financial needs of the home at a particular time, the energy the woman, gives to the husband now changes. All because the man is not able to, provide financially like he used to. My dear, don't forget that marriage has various seasons. So you have to be careful so that you don't hurt your partner. Especially in those seasons of maybe a little lack, you have to learn how to be understanding. If not, you end up making that man feel used in that marriage. Bringing realistic expectations into your marriage is your responsibility as a woman. Yes, when you're coming into your marriage, you have to come in with grown woman character and mindset, and not a childish mindset. Your husband is not, he's not a therapist. You have to be emotionally stable. You have to be mentally matured before you say I do, so that you don't end up bringing in unrealistic expectations, fantasies into your home, things that will make your partner regret even getting married to you. So it's very important that realistic expectations is what you come into that marriage with. Ability to handle conflict as an adult is very, very important in marriage. You see all this name calling, working out, or bringing up the past when you guys have a misunderstanding, that is a sign of immaturity. Your husband forgot your birthday, you're throwing tantrums, you're giving him silent treatment, you're giving him, you're showing all your bad character, you're now showing your bad side, all because you forgot your anniversary, your anniversary, you forgot your birthday, just forgot an important occasion, and you're now giving him attitude. No, that is the sign of immaturity. Knowing how to handle conflict in marriage is very, very important. Even if that conflict will not come, what of when it comes? You should know how to handle them. Independence is another very important thing a woman should bring to the table. As a woman, you have to be independent, of course. See, a woman that has a mind of her own, has her own hobbies, has something doing, has confidence, that is an attractive woman. As a woman, you should be independent in every area, not just towards your job, your business, or towards money, but being mentally independent is also very important. Having a mind of your own. You are able to carry yourself. You're able to stand on your own. Make firm decisions about your life. That is indeed a full package woman. Another very, very vital thing, in fact, the most important thing a woman should bring to the table is the desire to bring something to the table. What should a woman bring to the table? That desire to bring something to the table. A woman that doesn't have the desire to even bring anything is not a partner. She's a passenger. A woman that wants to only enjoy what the man brings to the table. She doesn't want to build with the man. She doesn't want to do anything. She doesn't want to bring anything to the table. She just wants to come and enjoy. That woman is not an ideal partner. She's a passenger. Consistency is another very important thing a woman brings to the table. As a woman, the attributes you used to display when you guys were still dating should match the attributes you display when you guys get married. In fact, or should even be better. You should become a better person when you get married. Not be the type that play a bait and switch game. No. You shouldn't be the type that maybe when you guys were still dating, you're very beautiful, you're always looking neat, have good character, you show respect, you know how to cook, clean, do house chores in your house, you know how to take care of yourself, you know how to be respectful, God-fearing and all those things. But immediately you got married, you changed. It means you were pretending. Consistency is very important. Another vital thing a woman brings to the table is sexual maturity. Not just sex, but sexual maturity. Sex is not a weapon, it's not a reward. It's a connection between you and your spouse. So you should know how to handle that part of your marriage properly, without manipulation. Women, without manipulation. There are so many marriages where the woman withholds sex from the man whenever they have any misunderstanding. My dear, you're playing with fire. That is the number one thing that causes emotional distance, even physical distance between you and your partner. So don't use it as a weapon in marriage. Last but not least, as a woman, you should have the willingness to learn and to be corrected as well. A woman that has the willingness to learn, a woman that has the willingness to be corrected without being defensive is a good woman. You should know how to. You should have that willingness to be corrected without being defensive. It's very important. Finally, on today's episode on what a woman brings to the table is humility. My dear, marriage will humble you. You think marriage is easy? My dear, it is not easy. Ask those that are married, they will give you updates. Marriage is not easy. You have to be humble. See, a woman that feels like she's always right, a woman that feels like she's perfect, will struggle to connect deeply with her partner. So just learn how to be humble. Humility is not timidity. Humility is very, very important in marriage. So have it as a woman. It's very important. In summary, to the ladies, please, today's video is not about perfection. It is about preparation. See, every woman has something that she brings to the table in marriage. The question is, that thing you're bringing to the table, is it building your home or is it burning your home? And to the guys, to the men, please don't just look for beauty in a woman. Look for a woman that brings substance to the table. That is indeed a wife. A woman that brings substance to the table. So yes, if it's about bringing something to the table, every woman does. So men should stop asking what a woman brings to the table. So that is all for today's episode. Thank you so much for watching my video today. Thanks so much for listening. And please do not forget to subscribe to my channel. Also like and comment on my videos as well. Thank you so much for watching. See you in another episode with